We've been based in Singapore for a number of years, and clearly there are a number of other countries that are keen to develop the Treasury Centre concept. Our approach as Cargill is that Singapore works really well for us. There's a very good infrastructure here, availability of some very good counterparties, other peers, and Singapore offers a lot just in terms of its stability, certainty around regulation, enforceability of contracts, and so on. So it would actually take a lot for us to leave here at our Treasury Centre. Shanghai, we think, still has a long way to develop here. The region is a region in transition. We have a number of different economies that are each at a different stage of development, and so the nature of that transition varies greatly. For us and our business, the openness of trade is very important. We see a number of initiatives that affect this region that are positive in that context, things like the TPP initiative, things that are going on within ASEAN. Those are all positive. But then on the other hand, we do see individual countries driven by domestic concerns are keen to boost their domestic players. They want to regulate foreign investment, want to regulate a lot of licensing around what foreign investors can do, and that obviously militates against what we're trying to do in the region. So it's a balanced picture. I think this is a very interesting region for us, but you really have to talk country by country in terms of the different challenges, I think. Talking specifically about Treasury here, I think Indonesia and the recent regulations around foreign debt, hedging of foreign debt, and also the denomination of local transactions in rupiah. Governments are free to do and legislate as they wish. Just for us, the interpretation of regulation and getting clarity around that is a bit of a challenge. And so we're going to be interested to see how those regulations develop over time in Indonesia. That's something we're trying to get our head around. With any government, regulation is often a matter of trial and error. So they have a broad objective that they want to achieve. They come up with measures to try and achieve that. The implementation and execution of that can be a different thing, and it can provide insights on distortions that may be introduced and so on. So I think you see this in China. Interpretation of the regulation is key. India, interpretation is key. Indonesia, it's everywhere. So regulations take a while to bed down and for the business community to get used to working with them, I think that there are global initiatives around the whole area of taxation, cross-border taxation, this base erosion initiative that's coming out of the OECD will lead people to look at international transactions and trade and ask questions around pricing and margin across the supply chain. And it's interesting that authorities are increasingly cooperating, but they're also competing in terms of their share of the tax take. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. For us, it's absolutely clear to us that we comply with whatever laws and regulations are in place. We expect we'll just have to spend a lot more time on that in terms of responding to questions, providing data, and so on. We just see that that's a trend that's happening globally. We're a food and agriculture business. This is our 150th year of operation, so we've been around a while in volatile markets. And so I think you could say one of our core competencies as a company, if you think about the volatility we've seen in 150 years and we're still around, one of our core competencies is actually risk management. And that's not only financial risk management, it's across all aspects of the operations, whether it be food safety, whether it be logistics, and so on. So risk management, I think, is as much about a culture as anything else. You can have systems, mechanisms in place and so on, but you have to have the culture to support that. And I think we have some very clear centralized infrastructure around risk management, but we also devolve responsibility around risk management to people in the business as well. So it's a combination of very clear central standards, central oversight, but then also the people on the ground need to have that awareness and are part of your risk management, I think. So that's very much how we approach it. It's a cultural thing for us.